Our next speaker is Alan James, who is the branch secretary of Shropshire Unison.
Hello everybody. No chance from me, I'll leave that to Mike, but I have to say I'm greatly heartened that everybody who's turned up today, not only in the square but across the picket lines right across the county. We had a fantastic picket today at Shire Hall and at other council premises around the county, so well done to everybody. I'm really proud to be the branch secretary of Shropshire Unison in this most difficult of years. I wanted to talk to you today about a few myths that go around about why we're striking today and why this is so important to 2.5 million people around the country. Shropshire Unison has had a very difficult year this year. We've been on strike, we've been in dispute with our employers for a number of months about our terms and conditions and about a pay cut, but my own personal belief is that this pension dispute tops everything. This is crucial to us as a workforce, to a society and to the wider population that we have, and make able to sustain decent, affordable pensions for people who give public service throughout many long and loyal years. What we should always remember, I think, is that a decent, reliable and fair pension is not a right, but not a privilege, as some people would have us expect. Today is not the end of this dispute, and it's really just a rallying point, I think. A rallying point for us to continue the fight. And a major part of that fight is something that you can all do. We as union activists, we're engaged in it all the time, but actually members of the public and you as decent, loyal workers can do. And that is to dispel some of the myths that are purported around the country in the Tory press, from government ministers, from people who are unsympathetic to our cause. And they give out the myth that we all retire early and we all retire on gold-plated pensions. Well, gold-bloody-plated, I'll tell you this. If £4,400 is gold-plated, because that's the average public sector pension, then I believe some people have a very strange grasp on the English language and an even stranger grasp on the economics, basic economics. Nobody can survive on £4,400 a year, and if that's gold-plated, then I don't want any part of that. There's a few other myths that people keep throwing at us. That there's a big public sector pensions deficit that has to be repaid. This is not true. There is no funding gap at all in our public sector pensions. The public sector schemes were assessed long-term in 2008 and they were adjusted accordingly. Both the local government pension scheme and the NHS scheme are cash-rich. The NHS pension scheme is cash-rich to the tune of £2 billion. There is more going in substantially than there is going out. There is no deficit. Myth number 2. People are living longer, which means that they are claiming pensions for longer. In the pension review that I mentioned of 2008, these factors were taken into account and the schemes were revised accordingly. And everything, all the costs going into there were reduced by 25%. We've already had our review 3 years ago, and we were told that we would come back and visit this again for perhaps 20 or 30 years. 2 years down the line, they lied to us. And they're here again, but only this time they're coming back much more savage, in a much more brutal fashion. And we have to stand up, not just as a trade union, but as a society we have to stand up, because the long-term damage that will cause to us is significant. Myth number 3, and this is the one that always gets me and gets me wound up, and it got me wound up when I watched breakfast time television this morning. It's not fair. Why should the public sector get good pensions while the private sector doesn't? Absolute bunkum. An average director of a FTSE 100 company gets a final salary pension of £3.6 million. I'll put that another way. That's £175,000 a year on average. That's gold-plated, not 4,400. The average occupational scheme pays out £9,500 a year. That's nearly 5,000 more than a local government scheme. So this argument about gold-plated, we have to smash it, and we have to smash it every time you have a conversation in a pub, or in a shopping queue, or at a sports event, or anywhere with colleagues who won't support you today. Tell them that our cause is just, and that the arguments that are being put forward against us are blatant lies. Myth number 4. Myth number 4 is that public sector workers retire early and take their money. It's another lie. the average public sector worker retires at 65. We are maybe living longer, but the fact of the matter is that public sector workers do really demanding and stressful jobs, and they should not be physically expected to work until they're 67, 68, 69. I don't want to be rescued by some arthritic 68-year-old firefighter, thank you very much, and I don't want to be taken into a casualty where the hard-pressed nursing staff are coming at me on Zimmer frames. I want people who are there properly and who have trained and fighted to do it. But we have to go out and send the message. This is a message to all of you. I could go on with these myths, because these myths are out there every single day. Go into WH Smith's, go into a coffee shop and find a newspaper and see what the press are telling the population about us. Go back and have the conversations. Have the conversations with family. Have the conversations with colleagues who won't support us. Have conversations with people who think we're lazy, work-shy public sector workers, because we're anything but. I will tell you this finally. Tell them this first and finally, that a pension is not a privilege, it's just deferred wages from a lifetime of public service. And it is our right to expect that the government of the day honours their promises to us when we signed up for the public service all those years ago. Go and spread the message, keep up the fight, because I believe we can win. Thank you very much.